Hey guys, Nicola here from ArxangelRC, and today we're going to take a look at the Eachine Pioneer E350 ready to fly quadcopter from Banggood. For those who are interested, purchase link is in the description of the video. Now, moving on to a quick overview of what you're getting 920 very nice looking and seemingly high quality motors, indicator LEDs under them, nice tall landing gear, an awesome shark fin at the back. At the top of the frame, battery hatch is on the back. The top of the frame is actually almost feels rubberized. Very nice high quality feel and finish. The bottom is more plasticky, but it's tough. The frame is very rigid, and I really loved it and was very surprised when I received it. The bottom of the frame features uh, threaded inserts into the frame to mount your gimbal to, thumb screws to easily remove the landing gear, and a set of USB connected to connect the flight controller to mission planner to do setup, etc., and connectors for telemetry, video, gimbal, and gimbal control. Now, like I said, very high quality looking and probably the best looking copter I've ever seen. Just take a look at that face. It looks like a shark. It's really good. You get a battery, some connectors, a charger, and tell me if this is not the most badass charger you've ever seen on a quadcopter. Batman charging your batteries. The radio is 8 channels, has 2 switches, 5 flight modes in total, and you have 2 potentiometers for gimbal control, but they are reversed. The roll one does the pitch and the pitch one does the roll, at least on my unit. There's also a compatible gimbal, but more on that later. And getting to the flight, and this being an out of the box copter ready to fly, I took it out of the box, only calibrated the compass and flew it so you'd know what to expect right out of the box. Now here on the ground I am checking to see if it's reacting in the proper direction when I move the sticks, which is quite important to do, and takeoff is now a fact. So this is the maiden flight, the absolute first time I flew this. Now, first things first, I was really surprised at how much power it has, but it's a relatively light copter, and I really have to say the frame is really surprisingly stiff. I wasn't expecting that looking at the photos, and this thing really in person looks much better than on the product listing on the website. So, just to know. And again, very good looking copter. Like everybody was stopping to take a look at it because it really looks amazing and totally different from anything else out there. The Tolfster was a copy of the Phantom. This is a totally new toy, all on its own design. Very nice, very good looking. And I was surprised at how well this thing flies. Now, it could use a bit more tuning on the roll axis, but overall, very quick, very nimble, doesn't shake when you do a quick stop or accelerate quickly. Altitude hold works very well. Loiter also works very well, and I certainly advise you to calibrate the compass absolutely before the first flight. Otherwise, you may not get a reliable loiter, and that will definitely ruin the experience, especially for those not familiar with the APM flight controller. This thing is using the APM flight controller, so you can connect it via the USB port to a laptop, connect it to Mission Planner, and calibrate the compass, or use the instructions in the manual. Yes, please read the manual. It's actually rather good. Things are explained there, how to do, what to do, how to fly it, especially for those not familiar with quadcopters. The LEDs on the bottom will actually give you indications of the GPS status. The blue ones are the GPS status, the red ones are the battery. So when the red ones start blinking, it's usually time to land. Now, I did notice that the voltage sensor is pretty sensitive, so it will start blinking at a relatively high voltage. So I may try to change that in Mission Planner to lower it a little bit, so I can fly for longer, because if you're in altitude hold or loiter mode and it starts blinking, it will try to land unless you switch to stabilize mode, in which mode you can keep flying. And like as you can see here, very quick, it picks up speed very quickly, and I was actually surprised how fast it was able to go. Definitely quicker than the Tofsto, and definitely has a lot of power, so it will be able to carry that gimbal easily without much effort, as well as the telemetry and the video transmitter. And now for your viewing pleasure, some low altitude loitering, so my friend can really take a closer shot at the copter with the camera. It does hold its position very well. I was actually surprised because it doesn't have a GLONASS GPS, just a regular Neo 6, so it will probably mostly see up to 12 satellites, but during that part of the day even less, but still it would hold its position really well. And you know, I can't stress this enough. Look at that frame. It's just a piece of art for me. It's aggressive looking, it's good looking, it's not ugly, and it feels good. It doesn't feel cheap like those cheaper toys. And this costs $200 and 220 with the telemetry kit. This is it's not worth buying anything else. You know, it's not worth buying $120 toy copter when you can have this for $200 and add another 80 for the gimbal, and you've got the same setup but with a better copter. So talking about the gimbal, here is the gimbal. It's a 2-axis gimbal. The gimbal pieces are actually, I think, real carbon. At least they look the part. Actually, the gimbal worked really nice. I'm not sure that gimbal was manufactured specifically for this copter, but it was the copter certainly came with the necessary cables for the gimbal. Uh, Although during my first flight with it, I did forget those cables, so I only managed to find a way to power the gimbal, not control it. So you're not going to see any pitching up and down of the camera during flight. Now, one of the things that I don't really like is that this is the maximum down angle you can put on the gimbal. It does come with a CD, and I will take a look at the software if there's software on it, and I will try to adjust that so it will be able to turn 90 degrees down, because this is very useful to have, to be able to look straight down. But overall, after attaching the gimbal, the copter flew exactly the same. No difference in performance, no noticeable difference in flight times. You get around 10-11 minutes on the 3S 2200 milliamp battery that the copter comes with. And now this is finally the video from the camera on the gimbal. As you can see, out of the box, I haven't touched a single propeller for balancing. Out of the box, no vibrations to speak of, and possibly very slight shaking when you really look into the video really carefully. Hence my comment earlier that the roll axis may need a bit more tuning to sort that out. But for out of the box, this is amazing. And $300 copter plus gimbal, and all you need to add is your GoPro or other compatible camera that would fit in that gimbal. And for $300 you get the copter, the gimbal, and I certainly hope it's not just my unit, but this flies that way out of the box. And honestly, the Tofsto Aegean didn't do that, and I was a little bit disappointed that I actually had to seriously get in there and balance motors, balance props. But this out of the box is usable. You just add your own camera and possibly a video system, video transmitter, and away you go without too much effort put into this and time wasted. And like I said, really likes to pick up speed and flies very stably, even in altitude hold mode. You punch it forward, it will not drop altitude like a lot of other copters do. And that is just good engineering, and somebody really put some effort into tuning this. Like I said, in my view, out of the box, first flight, second flight, third flight, 10th flight, this is worth every cent paid for it. Definitely. And I will actually, of course, now start modding, balancing props, motors, adding the telemetry. I will open the frame and see if some other work needs to get done, but I will definitely use this. And I gotta tell you right now, one of my favorites, hands down. For more information on this copter and the future modifications, go to my blog at ArxangelRC.blogspot.com. You can also visit my YouTube channel. You can see the link uh, also on the screen, and please subscribe. That's it for me, and I will see you soon.